show. Quack a lot of you can like you don't give a fuck. Come on. I can't hear you quacking, y'all. Come on, quack. 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 Quack.
Hello, listeners. I know. It's been a very long time since I have recorded an episode for the podcast. My phone messed up and my computer broke, so I really haven't been able to record anything for the podcast. But I'm here now, and I don't know if like a sorry would work, but I'm sorry. From the bottom of my heart to the tops of yours, I am sorry. So, since the last episode, I have gotten my own apartment, 4070 and fans, but nothing else to go with it. And I got a puppy, and I ran over, you know when you're at a gas station and you get those, the barriers next to the gas pumps, the concrete little U's, whatever they're called. I ran into one of those, and now the side of my car is fucked, but that is okay, because I don't care. I know most people are going to be like, oh my gosh, my car's now ugly. It's just cosmetic. My doors still work. My car still drives. So as long as it still works, I don't really care. It's perfectly fine. It drives fine. I still got a speeding ticket yesterday for going 42 and a 40. Doesn't make any sense to me, but police department. There's people out there getting shot in middle school, but someone doing 42 and a 40 is the one you got to pull over. So, a couple months ago, actually a lot more than a couple, I was playing video games on my PC, about to start a Twitch stream, and then maybe after stream, I was going to, record an episode for the podcast, go about my day. Well, I'm sitting there, PC starts to smell a little funny. Now, as soon as I open it up, I see a mumble of just everything. It was all bloated and everything. And I was like, what the fuck just happened? Well, push comes to shove. My PC was literally in pieces. And so I took everything apart, and turns out the battery got fucked and it enlarged, it bloated, and it kind of pushed everything else out of the way, which kind of pissed me off and kind of made everything hard. So I used a soldering iron, duct tape, and super glue to make sure everything stayed intact. And it's finally been working for the past couple of days. And so I have been streaming on Twitch. And as I am recording this podcast, I have just figured out that there was a ranking system, and I am ranked 12th out of 25. And I will say that's pretty freaking awesome for my first ever podcast. Pretty stellar. And I will say that none of this would have been possible. This show wouldn't have existed without the Out of Place podcast and Stephen Daniel and pretty much Twitch chat and everything else that has motivated me to continue to talk to people and put myself out there and just let people sit there listen to me for 10 to 15 minutes a day on their car ride to work or whatever, It's pretty surreal when you think about it. It's just I'm some asshole sitting in a chair in my apartment, and you guys are on your way to work or at the gym. I don't know how some of you guys do it, but fucking kudos to you, I guess. But if some of you guys are at the gym, and I'm just here talking into a microphone, talking to some people on Twitch, and then I load up Audacity and record for 10 to 15 minutes, maybe 30 minutes for an episode. And I will say that's pretty damn awesome. So thank you guys who are listening and who are downloading the podcast and just listening to it on their own when they're off of Wi-Fi and everything like that. It really helps, and it really keeps me motivated to keep making this podcast and keep making it to where you guys can listen. So those of you who are downloading this podcast, the unsung heroes, the reason why I keep talking into this microphone, thank you. And hopefully you guys keep coming back, because there's plenty of crazy stories. That song by like AJR or whatever? It's 100 bad days make 100 good stories. Yeah, no, that's me. I've had way too many bad days, and I have so many fucking stories to tell. And I am nowhere near at the bottom of my barrel. And so to kick off the I'm Back episode of the podcast, I'd like to tell a story that I hold near and dear because it is funny and it almost got me in a lot of trouble, but whatever. So we were in Poland, right? I think it was like our third or fourth week there. For the first 2 weeks, when we just got off the plane, we rode a bus, and then we walked for like 30, 40 minutes just to get to the base, and then we walked another 10 minutes to get to our barracks. But we get to Poland, and they're like, no drinking, no alcohol. This is a dry base. And all of us were like, why? most of the countries that were around us were like big for alcohol. There was like vodka and beer and all this stuff. And we were just like, this doesn't make any fucking sense. So we asked the unit that we're replacing, we asked them, we said, hey, why can't we drink on this base? They're like, well, what had happened was a couple months ago, the unit that we replaced, 2 of their soldiers had gotten drunk and had lit the town of Bolslavik on fire, stole a taxi cab, drove it into the lake, and then walked naked back to the base. So that's why U.S. soldiers are not allowed to drink here. And we were like, oh, that makes sense. So about 2 weeks goes by, and then First Sergeant pulls us all in for a little powwow, and he says, hey, y'all can drink on one condition. Y'all don't do dumb shit. We know y'all. We know how y'all are back home. Don't do dumb shit. I swear to God, y'all do dumb shit. We will not drink for the rest of the time we're here. Take note, we were in Poland for almost a year, some change, 2 years. I'm not too sure. It was a long time we were in Poland because we got extended because of COVID and then customs. It was a whole bunch of bullshit. Y'all thinks customs is bad civilian wise. You should try spending 4 days in a motor pool, power washing Humvees from dirt that you have to cut the floor pads out of the truck just so you can leave. But I'm rambling. Let's get back to the point, shall we? So that night, me and my friends Taylor and a couple of his battle buddies, we all go out on the town, right? I'm broke as shit because at this time I was married to a leech. If you would say, if you know me from way back when, you would know what I'm talking about. Sergeant, that's a nod at you. I know you still listen to my podcast, you cheeky asshole. But she was a leech. I had no money other than like maybe $100, but $100 in Poland will take you a long fucking way. I will tell you that right now. Because in Poland, they have like zloty. That's their paper money. And I think that's also the name for their coins. I'm not too sure. I can't remember. But their paper money was called zloty. It was like $4 to 1 to the U.S. exchange rate. So $100 would take you a long way. So we went out drinking, and the first place we went to was this like pizza place, Italian kind of restaurant. Mainly all they sold was pizza. And I'm sitting across the table from Taylor, and then Blankenship, he's across from me, and then Tassinari. And we're just having a great ass time. I order a martini, Taylor orders a martini, and the other two, they order something else completely different. And I don't know what they're doing, but Taylor didn't want his martini, so I drank his martini. And so I'm 2 drinks in already. So we keep going. Tassinari has had a couple drinks in ahead of everybody. I think he's at like 6 at this point. And while we're at this pizzeria, he falls asleep, right? And so we're all making fun of him for passing out. The Polish workers who worked at this pizzeria, they come in and they see him pass the fuck out, and they start stacking shit on this man. First, they start with a napkin, not an inch. Then they do like the pizza tray. I know you guys are imagining it's what the pizza comes out on if you sit down and eat at like Pizza Hut. It's like a black little dish the size of a fucking pizza. They stack that on top of him. They put a slice of pizza on his head. Then they put a fucking, I don't know what it was, but it was an orange alcoholic drink, and it looked delicious. Then they put that on top of the slice of pizza. And then they stuck a little table tent on top of the pizza tray. And this motherfucker has so much shit stacked on top of him by the time he wakes up, he moves and everything comes crashing down, and all you hear is the Polish bust out laughing. This is the best example they have for Americans, and that is us. And so after that, we head out, we start walking around, and fucking Taylor gets hungry again. And I'm like, you know what? I'm hungry too. I could eat. And so me, Taylor, and a couple other battle buddies meet up. Blankenship and Tassinari have fucked off back to base, I think. So we're just walking around town square. We find this place where a couple of our friends are sitting at, and it's awesome. If I ever go back to Poland, I'm going to hunt this place down. And I really didn't want to spend any money here, so I just kind of sat in the back, look at the drink menus, and they come and they give us like the rolls. Do you want to know what the rolls are, people? The rolls is a piece of fucking bread this fucking big. I know for those audio listeners who aren't listening and watching the stream right now, because I stream and record at the same time. It's a fun little multitasking thing. But think of that dinner plate, the pizza plate that the pizza comes out on when you sit down at a pizza place. The bread was the size of that fucking thing, and it was delicious. It was like lightly burnt on the top, and everyone got one. Every one single person, I think there was like 12 of us, got one. And those who didn't want to eat theirs tossed it over to me. And I ate that shit like a motherfucker because it was so good. And as I was looking at the drink menu, I then started pulling out my wallet and I was like, I forget what the name was called in Polish, but the lady who worked there said it translated to fuck you in English. And so I was like, okay, I want as many of these as you can make me. And she was like, okay. So she brought one to the table. Turns out it's actually a trash can in English. It's basically, if you've ever gone anywhere here where I live, we have a Wildcatters, but I believe like B-Dubs does it. But that's besides the point. Trash can. She brings me one and oh my God, it is delicious. I am chugging this thing, right? I was like, can I get another? And she was like, yeah. I was like, awesome. Chug this one. Eat some more bread. And by this point, I'm 4 drinks in, right? And I'm not feeling a damn thing. So I'm like, let's keep going. Chug another one and another one. And then I get a phone call from someone I didn't really want to listen to. And I go outside and I answer this phone call. And while I'm outside, the whole table is ordering more drinks for me, which I did not know this, but when I get back, I find out. But as I'm answering this phone call, I'm starting to feel it. I'm starting to get a nice little buzz, and this phone call is ruining my buzz. And so I get fucking pissed, right? And I throw my vape, which was a cool vape too, because it was like a watch, but it was you could pop it out, and it was a vape. If anyone can find me another one of those, contact me, and I will give you my address so you can give me another one. I want one again so bad. That shit was so cool for no reason. But I tossed my vape over the buildings in the square and it's fucking gone. And then I go back inside and next thing I know, when I'm sitting there, there's 4 of those drinks sitting where I was sitting. I'm like, oh, I was like, are these like waiting for somebody? The Polish lady said, no, those are for you. I was like, no shit. So I start chugging away at these things and now I'm starting to feel it. I'm starting to feel good. This is the most drunk I've ever been, by the way, by the end of this night. And so I chug these 4 things and I am drunk as hell. Next thing I know, Taylor's like, yo, everybody's talking about this like club down the street. And I was like, but I thought we weren't supposed to go to clubs. They were like, yeah, but what they don't know won't hurt them. I was like, all right, bet. So as we're walking to this club, I'm drunk as hell. And I run into this fucking specialist who thinks he had the balls of a fucking sergeant or whatever. And he's like, Boggs. I'm like, yo, what up? Because I'm drunk as fuck. I say, yo, what up? And he's like, give me your wallet right now. And I gave him my wallet and laughed at him because I wasn't buying my drinks. Taylor was. So he walked off thinking that he solved somebody from getting too fucking drunk that night. Lo and behold, we're heading to this club and we run into Needham again. And he's over there spending my fucking money because he was like, he's too drunk. He'll probably think he bought them. I was like, no, give him my fucking wallet back. And I fucking took the drinks that he was drinking because he just bought them. I took them and fucking walked away with my wallet and gave those drinks to Taylor. We get to the club, finally, after what feels like forever walking because I'm drunk off my ass. And we get to this club, right? And there's fun going on in there and I'm just having a good time. And then we get up to the bar and I look at the menu and what do I see? Absinthe. I'm like, what is absinthe? I've never heard of it before. She was like, you would like it. I was like, okay, give me 4 shots of absinthe. She was like, you want 4 for you? I was like, yeah, sure. Why not? I'm drunk as shit already. Why not? She was like, okay. She laid out 4 like antifreeze green drinks in front of me. And I'm like, oh shit. I either die tonight or I get really fucked up because a drink that looks like antifreeze is either going to kill you or make you wake up in a ditch. And I was willing to take those chances. So Taylor at this point has fucked off. I don't know where he is because I was going to give him 2 of these 4 shots. He's gone. He's somewhere in or outside this club, and I cannot find him for the life of me. So I go back to the bar, and I get my shots, and I just start taking them quick as I can. As soon as I take that 3rd one, it hits me. I can't breathe. My throat is on fire, right? So I take a second, and I'm like... I'm dying, right? And so I take that 4th shot like a champ, and I go outside to try and get some fresh air. Who do I see outside talking to some Polish chick? Taylor. And this man is like 5'5", and he is pulling honeys in Poland. I'm like, all right, dude, I'm drunk as shit, but we gotta go. He's like, why? I was like, because I can't breathe. So we start walking back, and I buy a water from a little street vendor on the way back to base, and I'm drunk. So I don't remember half of the walk back whatsoever. I only remember walking into the barracks. I don't remember anything after stepping outside that club or pub, whatever you want to call it, and walking into those barracks. But apparently, in between the pub, the club, whatever it was, I'm just going to call it a club for time's sake, but the club to the barracks, I had 10 drinks from then to then. I don't know where I got the 10 drinks, but Taylor said I bought 10 drinks on my own money. And sure as shit, I did. I checked my bank account the next day, and I was on like $20 left. But as soon as I walk into those barracks, I gain sentience, right? And I find 100 zloty sitting on the floor, which I was like, woo, my lucky day. And then it hits me. I book it to the fucking bathrooms. And what little do I know? What do I see when I walk in? All 3 of the bathroom stalls are full of soldiers puking. And then behind them is another row of 3 soldiers waiting in line to puke. And then there's 2 soldiers in the sinks puking. There's 1 puking out the window. Take note, we are on the 3rd fucking floor. And this man is hanging himself out the window, puking onto the ground off of the 3rd floor. So we're all talking, and fucking this one dude in the stall next to me after it's my turn to finally puke. And I'm like, dude, we should never do this shit again. And then here I hear from next to me is like, but we're going to do it again next week. We just go fucking crazy, and we're all just in there fucking hacking up our fucking livers. And then the next morning, I think it was Monday, and it was time to go to PT, and we all look like absolute dog shit, every single soldier. And then fucking Needham comes to me. He's like, hey, did you take your wallet back from me at any point last night? I was like, dude, to be honest with you, I don't even remember most of that shit. So, yeah. That is the story about how I got super fucked in Poland. I thought that'd be a pretty badass story to tell for my first story back now that I got my jerry-rigged PC going, super glue and duct tape, and a semi-professional soldering job. But I will be making podcasts for as long as this PC lives. And once I get the rest of the parts to the PC, I will be making sure to make a podcast, if not monthly, every 3 weeks or so. So you guys can expect to hear from the Ducky Show much more often. I think all of you are amazing, but Steven, your beard looks fantastic. And I hope you guys have a happy new year and a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day.